Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitansha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Before we start the class and before I forget, Sundar Prabhu, have we shared the recording of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu's class last week?
Prabhu, we haven't received it yet.
Okay, I have received it. Sorry, I would forward that. Can you please send me that? It was a very nice, purposeful class. So if you have missed it out, please spend an hour or so to listen Prabhu's lecture. It also gives the PDF file which Prabhu was using as a whiteboard. So all the PDF versions also there, so you can listen and sort of see his diagrams. It's very, very useful class. So please check it out, and we'll send the link soon. You can download the PDF. It's in Google Docs in the drive. So you should be able to download, or maybe Prabhu can send as an attachment. It's like 6 MB attachment. Was very nice class. Okay, let's start. Looks like we haven't seen each other for ages. There's only 1 week, but it feels long. Let's do a quick revision. So we have done 16th chapter. So we'll just do a quick revision of divine and demoniac, and then we'll move to 17th chapter, which is the Shraddha Traya Vibhag Yoga. Okay, I see Sundar Gopal Prabhu and Mataji as first in my screen. If you want to do a quick recap, I know there are 3 verses. You don't have to read the whole translation, just you can tell the main points.
Let me see. I think that was in the initial part of it, but let's see. Right. So do we start with the translation, Prabhu?
Probably just go through the verse straight away, because the translation will take longer. They have like 11 verses or something.
Okay. So idam adhyamaya labdham, which means the labdham we say is gain. We get some sort of a labh from this thing, and maya means me, by me.
Sorry, just before that, would you like to give a little context of this verse? What are we reading?
Okay.
We are reading about demoniac qualities, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Doesn't sound like us, but there may be few qualities. So it's important to read these qualities.
Yeah, the initial few verses, couple of verses were the divine qualities, and rest everything is demoniac qualities in the chapter.
Yeah. So some is mentality and some are activities. So we are reading right now the activities of them. And obviously there's some mix of mentality as well, like Ishwaroham, that's a mentality, not activity. So it's a mix of activity and mentality of demoniac people. Okay.
So the context of this is mainly, Prabhu, that, we as a demon, we think that we are the source of everything. We are acquiring all the wealth, and everything belongs to me, and based on my intelligence I would be able to gain more. But that's the demoniac qualities, and we don't the person doesn't understand actually the source of everything is Krishna, not us. And one should understand that. Yes.
Thank you, Mata. Which line is that in this verse? It's a very important point which you just said. If you have to translate that into Sanskrit, which
So
line?
Maya, labdhami, and labdham means the gain, the wealth.
Just on that
First one,
point.
idam madhya maya labdham imam prapche manoratham. So the first line here in 16.13, idam adya. So idam means this, and adya, we're talking about the present, maya, which means by me, and labdham, like all the gain and the wealth that I have acquired. Imam, imam is this, and prapsya means gained by me, and manoratham, manaha ratham. It is like manaha means mine, and ratham means desires, based on my desires.
Ratha means chariot, the chariot of mind.
Manaha ratham, yes.
We get seated on the chariot of mind and we go around the whole universe and, you know, daydreaming. So many dreams we have. This is called Manoratha.
Not
Yes, Mata.
practically doing anything, just dreaming about things that
Exactly. And we see many people around us who may have so many Manorathas, so many desires they have. Okay.
Should I continue, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Yes, please.
So in this one, Prabhu, because of the labdham, and we are talking about the wealth, and then it also we also have the things of belongingness, like everything belongs to me, and based on my intelligence, I will be able to increase in the future as well. And we also think that he is my enemy, and I am going to destroy him or get rid of him because of my schemes and my intelligence. So basically, the demon thinks that everything is based on him. He can use his intelligence to either acquire wealth or kill the enemy who is coming on his way, and thinking everything is done by me only, and not understanding the fact that everything is being done by Krishna, actually, not him.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. If I just pick up some Sanskrit words, so one mentality we can take, they are mentally situated on this Manoratha. They're not practically doing many times, if not all the time, they're on Manoratha. Then they talk about Dhana, wealth. So it's a mentality. They do a lot of daydreaming. They're thinking a lot about the wealth. Like I have, you know, this much money and I will gain more money. Then they talk about Shatru, enemies. So I have killed Hata, so many my enemies, and other ones I will also kill. Then they talk about this mentality, Isaro aham bhogi. I am the bhokta of everything. They are there to become God. May not be physical God in that sense, but they want to become the controller of everyone and everything. And we see this mentality present practically every being. Siddho aham balavan sukhi. So I'm very siddha means I'm very perfect. They say no, my way or highway. So either you follow me or, you know, just get out. So that sort of mentality, Siddhoham, I am the perfect being, Balavan Sukhi, I'm Sukhi and I'm very strong. Ardhyo, you remember? Wealthy again. Abhijanvan Asmi, Abhijan means I am surrounded by aristocratic people. So I know so many people. Ko Anyos is the Shomaya, who is better than me? There's no one better than me. I'm the one. And yakshe dasyami modisha. So I also do some yaksha, means some sort of sacrifices, and I enjoy the results of that. So this is all demoniac mentality which Krishna is describing. Okay, 16:16. Vinay Prabhu. We'll not read the translation. We'll just pick up few words from here. That's what I'm expecting today. Pick up some Sanskrit words and give some principle. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
16, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, yes. Anik chitta vibhranta mahujala samabrita. So it's here, anik numerous, and chitta by any what it is, moho, the illusion. Okay. And jala samabrita. So moho means illusion, and is when we have a something to gain, then jalam and a net, we are get into it, and we cannot get out from that. And another one is
So this is the net of moha.
prashakta.
So we can say this jal, as
Moha,
Prabhuji
yeah.
is saying, jal of what? Jal of moha. So in Hindi we have makdi ka jala, and we have this net and that net. This net is of moha, attachment. And what does moha mean?
Yeah.
Attachment. Everyone knows that one. We are attached to primarily wrong things. Now, if we have moha, attachment for
of
Krishna,
desire.
all sort of different things. So aneka chitta vibhranta, their chitta, their mind is going everywhere, because they have so many manorathas. They have to achieve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things. So their chitta is everywhere, and they are bound with this net of attachment. Yes, Prabhuji.
Then prashakta, kama bhogeshu. Then very much attached. What is attached is our kama, our lusty desire.
Yes.
So then we want to enjoy these things. Then what happened after that? We are patanti narikyo asucho. Then we are going to the like hellish and very inauspicious thing. Right?
That's right.
So we fall in patanti.
Yes. So because of this mentality, they eventually end up being in hellish situation. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Rasanand Prabhu, Hare Krishna. You can just pick up some Sanskrit words, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
17th verse, right, Prabhu?
Yes.
Okay. Atma Sambhavita, self-compliance, Shabda imprudence, Dhana Mana. So this is describing some of the qualities of the demonic people, like how we were explaining how some of the hypocritic nature of these people, like how they are self-compliant, they are imprudent, having false prestige, wealth, like Dhana Mana, and Mada, they are always in illusion or delusion. And Anvita, they are absorbed in these things, and they try to perform sacrifice, Jante, well, just for the sake of the name, just for the name, Nama, Yajna. So without actually sacrificing, they think that they are really sacrificing, but that is just out of the Dhammena, out of pride. So that is wrong. That's what Krishna is saying, Avidhi Purvakam, without following any rules and regulations.
Yeah. So even if they do all these different things, they are due to their arrogance, proud nature, and they are doing it incorrectly.
Correct.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Mataji, you want to do 18?
Yes, sir. I'll try, Prabhu. Here, this is again telling about the demonic nature. So what they would do is they will take the shelter of the false ego, strength and pride. Like Ahankara is false ego. And then they take pride about their strength, Balam, and Darbam is pride. And again, which is result of the Kama and Krodha, that is lust and anger. So finally, they forget that Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they become inimical to envious of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is staying as an Atma in each and every body. So which is like Deheshu is like every body, and then he is like a Paramatma in each and every body. So they become envious of the Supreme Personality. And then finally, the Samstrita is they completely take on shelter of their lust and anger. So then they start blaspheming against the real religion, which is blaspheming is Pradivishanta. So they blaspheme against the real religion. So actually the total summon summary is like they become envious of the Supreme Personality because they are bewildered by their false ego, lust and anger.
Yeah.
So
Thank you, Mother. So Abhyasuyaka, this is important word. Abhyasuyaka, Prabhupada writes as envious. So it says, what's the difference between envy and blasphemy? Envy is in the heart, blasphemy which comes out. So envy, I may be feeling envious for someone or something in my heart, but blasphemy when I start speaking, like Shishupal was feeling envious about Krishna, when he starts speaking about it, then he got his head cut off. So many times we feel many things in our heart, but if we don't speak, we are saved. Many times. So we may feel upset about someone or something, but in many cases, if we don't speak, we are saved from so many troubles. But when you start speaking, then the trouble starts. So Pradishanta Abhyasuyaka. So Abhyasuyaka is the envious. This is very important. There's a one lady in our Vedic culture which is known with a similar name which is used here. Not the full name, a part of it. Anyone remembers that name? And that word is used in Bhagavad Gita many times.
Can you repeat the question, bro?
Okay, so this word is made up of a word by which there is a great lady's name is there in Vedic culture, which is very, very popular. So inside this word, there is another word.
Anasuya.
Thank you,
Anasuya.
Mao. Thank you. Everyone got the question now. So Anasuya means, Suya means envy nature. Anusuya
Without
means one who's
envious.
not envious.
not envious.
So Abhisuyaka, so Suya. And Krishna says to Arjuna as well, you are Asuya, Asuya or Anusuya. You don't have any envy. So a bhakta, a devotee, is not supposed to have any envy. Why? Because he sees, as written in the same verse, Mam Atma Paradehesu. So I reside in everybody. So if you love Krishna, it says if you love Krishna, you have to love Krishna. You have to love those who love Krishna. You have to love those who aspire to love Krishna. And you have to love those whom Krishna loves. And whom does Krishna love? Everyone. So it has 4 categories. So if you love Krishna, that means you love Krishna. You love those who love Krishna, like devotees. Devotees love Krishna, so you have to love those devotees. Well, you cannot say, I love Radha Gopinath DT, but I can't get along with the devotees in the temple. You can't make that a statement. That means your love is incomplete. So if you love a person, if you hate his children, will that person like you? I love you, Prabhuji, but not your children. I hate your children. So the person will say, thank you, Prabhuji, very much. I will see you later. So you're telling Krishna, Krishna, I love you. You are so wonderful. But you know your kids. I can't get away with them. So Krishna doesn't like that. Now, obviously, it's a journey. It doesn't start on day one, but it's a journey. We have to understand. Krishna loves every single living entity. So I was just saying, so you have to love Krishna. You have to love those who love Krishna, means devotees, and you have to love those who aspire to love Krishna. They are sadhakas like us, struggling sadhakas. We don't love Krishna as yet, at least I don't. Maybe you guys do, I don't. But there is a little desire somewhere in the heart that in future, sometime, we will be able to love Krishna. So that's the third category. And the fourth is whom Krishna loves. Whom Krishna loves means he loves every children. Every single living entity which is created by Krishna, Krishna loves it because that living entity is also part and parcel of Krishna. So now how can we hate anyone? How can we have a Suya? Suya means envy for any living entity. And if we have in our heart, that means we are not recognizing the love of Krishna completely at this stage. And that's why we have envy towards that living entity. Once you understand our relationship with Krishna, and Krishna is also present in that living entity, Krishna loves that living entity, then will not hate any living entity. One example comes in Ramayana. When Ravan was killed, Lord Ram asked Vibhishan to do the final rites of Ravan to Vibhishan. Vibhishan said, my dear Lord, I will not do the final rites. He was so sinful person. And Lord Ram said to Vibhishan, soul is always pure. Ravan is dead. All his sinful activities are vanished. And soul is always pure, and you should do the final rites of Raman. And Vibhishan did that. So the body which was sinful is already been wiped out, basically. But the soul is always pure. So our love or envy or hatred should not be based on the body. It should be based on the soul and super soul. And only that way, Prabhupada said, all the people of the world can live under one umbrella with love, not with the bodily condition. Body-wise, we are all different. We come from different nationalities, different caste, creed, color, different choices, favorites, non-favorites. We can't be combined just based on the body level, but based on spirituality. All souls are similar in nature. They're part and parcel of Krishna. They love Krishna and Krishna loves them. On that basis only, we can have the real united nation. That's what Prabhupada said. And Prabhupada said, I'm trying to create that. And we see that in every temple. When you go on a different festivals, there's like 200 people jumping up and down. On what basis? Only one basis is there, their love for Krishna. So this is a very nice aspect of non-envy. Okay, Mahasu Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Would you like to do 19?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you. I'll try my best.
Just a quick one, Prabhu.
Yes. So here he says, Dveshtakaram. So that means a person who is envious and who is carried away by false ego, pride, lust, and anger, and does not believe in God. For that person, what Krishna treats them is actually been explained in this verse, right?
So,
what Krishna?
That's right. Yeah.
So
That's
what
the
Krishna
context.
says.
Thank you.
So Krishna says that for such an envious and mischievous person, first Krishna considers them to be the lowest in the mankind. And
so Prabhuji, there are three qualities are given. Three qualities. We can just read. Drishyata. Drishyata means dvesh karne wala. Kruran. Kruran. Prabhupada translates as mischievous. So why Krura should be cruel? Very cruel person. Prabhupada writing mischievous. Why? Mischievous means naughty. Krura means, it's a clear word, right? Cruel.
My God.
Anyone remembers? Sorry. It's an important translation. Prabhupada is so smart and he is so compassionate. He's giving this translation here.
Like, because children are like mischievous, like
Yes.
similarly, these people are also.
Yes, so Krishna is the father, as a loving father, he's saying Kruran, but Prabhupada understands the Bhavanuvad. So there's something called Arthanuvad and something called Bhavanuvad. Arthanuvad means where you keep the integrity of the semantics. What's the literal meaning of it? Bhavanuvad means what's the bhav, what's the intention behind it? So Prabhupada reads the intention of Krishna, not just the literal word for Krishna, and he gives that word. So father is saying to son, you are very naughty, you are very mischievous. So although the son may have done very abominable activity, but father is saying, you naughty boy, you naughty boy. So father loves the son. Okay, Mahasa Prabhu, please continue. And the third one is?
The third word is Naradama.
Naradama. Thank you.
So
now what do I do if you have these three qualities? So if we have these three qualities, yes.
So he puts them into the most abominable condition, abominable condition of life, which is actually giving them birth again into a demonic family where they actually continue to have that attitude. And then goes on to continue on the next verse.
You have actually done the next verse, 16, 20. Demonic. No, that's fine, Prabhu. So why Krishna is doing it? Because Krishna hates them. Is it right?
No.
Because you are Kruran, you are Dishita, you are Naradhama. So I throw you. And you know the word used here, Ajashram. Ajashram means forever. Prabhupada writes here. No, Ajashram, Chipami is putting. Chipami means throw karna, tekna. Ajashram means forever. God also hates someone. How do we understand that? What does this forever means? There are two words important, mischievous and forever. Charumata. You are here? Okay, that's fine.
Prabhupada actually gives the answer in the purport. Yes, so where he says that he actually states that a person is put into this because he thinks superior, and that is to have that sort of what is a mentality person carries, because that's what the subtle body is created. For that subtle body, he creates a specific body which is like an animal or any other species which will have those qualities.
Yes.
So
Basically,
that's why it's because he carries that, because he creates that subtle body. That's why Krishna has to create a material body for that, and that's how he has to give it. Not that Krishna is forcing; it's actually us or a person who carries that sort of attitude. Krishna has to give it.
Yeah. And the forever does not mean literal meaning here. Forever, it means for a long time till you get reformed, like that till the son is sort of change his mind, his heart. Father cannot allow some time just for the safety of other members of the family, because he has done something very mischievous. Yes, Sakhandasa Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just want to add something. It also doesn't
Sure.
mean Krishna is actually a god of eternal damnation. He
Yes.
gives a chance even to the lowest of the mankind to
Mhm.
change their ways and
Yes.
change the direction which they're going. So it's not like eternal damnation
Thank
like
you.
other religions.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
It's very nice word used in Christianity. Thank you for adding that. Can you give a reference, Prabhuji, of your statement? Sorry, from Bhagavad Gita. I'm asking Bhagavad Gita. What you said is absolutely correct. Can you give a reference?
Bible or somewhere it says
No, in Bhagavad Gita.
in Bhagavad Gita.
Yes. Apiche Sudaracharo Bhajte Mamanane Bhag. So one father is saying, I throw them forever, Ajasham, Shupami, Ajasham, Ashubhan. And another 931 is saying, Apiche Sudaracharo Bhajte Mamanane Bhag. Even if you've done the most abominable activity, I love you. I love you. If you change your ways, as you correctly said, if you do my bhajan with Ananya Bhag, actually you have full opportunity to come back to me. So you don't have to stay in that hell forever, as Prabhuji's eternal damnation as used in different religions. I just wanted to put Prabhu's word into verse. Thank you, Prabhuji. Rasanan Prabhu, your
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare
Quick
Krishna.
one to understand. Prabhu, in the purport, Prabhupada writes, superior power twice he quotes. So he means Maya here. He says, after death
This one here?
is put in the womb of the mother, where he gets a particular type of body under the supervision of a superior power.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
all are arranged by superior power. So
Exactly.
referring to Maya.
Yes, Prabhuji. And we're talking about the Maya of this world, Durgaji, who sort of takes care of these souls. Suppose you are in a very powerful position, so you'll have a minister which will look after all the prisoners. They're all naughty children of the society, and you'll say, Mr. Minister, look after them. And based on your sort of framework which you have created, that minister will look after them. So Durgaji is looking after this. Okay, you want repeated birth and death? No problem. I'll arrange for you under the direction of Krishna.
Thanks, man.
Okay, let's continue to the next one, which actually Mahavasu Prabhu had already given the hint. So we'll.
Prabhu, I'll do it.
Charu Mataji, you want to do? Please.
Yeah.
1621. This is one of the most famous verse. 20,
1620.
Mataji, Mahavasu Prabhu has already actually sort of put it together. So we'll just do 21. This is a very, very famous verse. Akhanrasa Prabhu, you still have a question, or your hand was just from the last question? Oh, no problem.
So I'll just try whatever I remember from the class. So this verse talks about the three gates that lead to hell, and they are lust, greed, and anger. And Krishna says that every man should give up these, for they lead to degradation of the soul. Three vidham refers to three naraka, three vidham narkayasyedam. So narkayasya is hell, and three vidham refers to three. Dwaram nashanam atmanaha. They are the doors to destruction of soul. And what are those three doors? They are kama, krodha, tatha, lobha. So lust, anger, and greed. So these are the three doors that lead us to hell. Tasmat etat trayam. Sorry, where did it go? So tasmat etam etat trayam trajet. Krishna here is saying, so one should give these up. Otherwise it leads to degradation. And I don't know if I remember anything else from the class that I've heard.
That's okay, Mataji. You have done the gist. Anyone wants to add anything else here? From the class or out of the class? So these are one of the 3 major friends which we carry in our heart. We all carry in different degrees. And these friends take us to a very inauspicious place. And we all have it. We can't deny it. But through the process of devotional service, all we are trying to purify ourselves of these 3 major anarthas. And the lesser they are, or 0 they are, the better we are situated in a spiritual life. Otherwise, all different types of, it says, the violence which happens around the world, you can categorize into these 3 categories. Like every corruption is based on greed, every other violence is based on anger, all the sexual crimes are based on lust. So we can give them up. Krishna said, Tasmat etat trayam tyajet. You should immediately, a sane man should immediately give them up if you want to save yourself from the hellish condition. Priya Mataji. Okay, it's gone.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask Prabhuji, there's a similar verse. I think there is but I can't remember. Is there one previously?
In this chapter, Mataji? So they are mentioned elsewhere as well, but as a group, that doesn't have all 3 together. So this is the verse. It has all 3 together, and Krishna is saying that take you to the hell, and you should give them up. That's the only verse. So the combination Kam Krodha is given at many places. Lobha is given at many places. The combination of these 3, as far as I understand, is given in this particular verse. And Krishna is talking about the advice as well, like give them up. That's my understanding. Akhand Rasa Prabhu or Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Just wanted to add, these 3 qualities are actually, if we convert them into Krishna's service, they are actually useful. So like you should have more lust for this more devotional service, and greed and lust we should to perform more and more.
So it says lust will convert into love. So lust should convert into love, and anger should convert into seva. Like we get angry because our desires are unfulfilled. So when we do the seva, our desires are automatically fulfilled because we are trying to serve Krishna, so our heart is fulfilled. And greed should remain, actually. Greed should remain. Why? Rupa Goswami says, Tatrapi lolyam api ekamulyam. So lolyam, which is greed, is the ekamulya, means is the only price which you have to pay to become a serious devotee. But here the greed refers to material things greed, and there the greed refers to spiritual greed. So when you are greedy for Krishna, and I think we have discussed this example by Bibi Govinda Maharaj in our class, Makhi Chus. Everyone remembers that? A miser person. So that greed is very nice greed. So greed can be used as is. Lust will be converted to love, and anger in service. And there are examples. Anyone remembers the example where lust was converted into love? So previously the person was very lusty, but later he became a very loving person. There are many examples. You can give any.
Bilba Mangal Thakur.
I was thinking exactly same. And as I said, there can be many more who has done that. Bilba Mangal Thakur initially was after this lady, but later he became so elevated devotee. Anger, a person was very angry earlier, and then he changed his ways.
Hanuman,
anger was a positive one. So I'm talking a materially angry person became a very service attitude person later.
Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra, okay. Valmiki is a very good example. Valmiki, Ratnakar Daku, who became Valmiki later. He was killing Brahmanas and other travelers as well. But later he became the Mahakavi, the great poet of the epic Ramayana. Okay, and I'm remembering example of Mrigari as well. Mrigari was also a very cruel person, very cruel person, very angry person. Later, he doesn't want to kill even an ant. So when we serve Krishna, when we chant the holy name, associate with devotees, all these anarthas goes automatically during the execution of devotional seva.
There
Okay.
is also for the anger, there is also the example of Dhruv Maharaj when he got very angry with the thing, but listening to the elders even when you are angry helps us to go back.
Definitely. But Dhruv Maharaj was not intrinsically angry. Like Mrigari was angry like all the time. That was a part of his nature. Dhruv Maharaj was angry on an incident. And then later also he became angry when the Uttam was killed. He was angry at Yakshas, and Manu Maharaj comes and says, Dhruva, you should not get angry.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I was talking about. He gets very angry with the yakshas, like the horrific thing happens. So
Yes.
I was thinking it even as devotees with that caliber anger comes. So what to talk about us?
And that's why I think we were discussing the other day. So anger first should not be done, but if it is done, it should be, you should not be controlled by the anger, rather you should control the anger in a minimal way, at least. So we are aware of what you are speaking or what you are doing, because sometimes people are just not aware what they speak or what they do when they are angry. So that's a very extreme situation. But yeah, people around the world have that. So at least devotees, we can try to minimize these things, and obviously later on it will get converted to seva bhav. Okay, so 1622, what's the message of 1622? Manmohan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
1620.
Quick message of 1622, Prabhuji.
So, I mean, these three processes are not conducive to self-realization. So if the more we avoid these, the better we will do in our bhakti.
Yes.
As long as we can try and stay away from these, three kind of anarthas, then we will be able to progress.
Yes. So it says, Eter Vimuktaha. So Vimukta refers to Vishesha Mukta. So we should not just be Mukta, Sunday night I'm Mukta because I'm in the temple dancing, eating prasadam. Vimukta, it should completely given up. Tamo dvarestribi naraha. Then, and what you should do, so this is coming from negative to a zero axis, and from zero to positive axis will be acharati atmanah shreya. So just getting rid of these three will not be able to make you a devotee. Like Prabhupada said, following 4 regs is just becoming a human, not becoming a devotee. Then you have to do devotional service on top of it. So giving them up definitely is the first step, but that's not the full step. Then what you have to do, acharati, behave, atmanah shreyas. So Atmana Shreya means what is Shreya for the soul? Those activities, which means devotional activity, Tato Yati Param Gati, and then you will achieve the perfect supreme destination. 1623.
Just a question on the last
Sure,
one.
Prabhuji.
So I think from memory, we discussed these three in the previous chapters as well. I think in the first.
Yes.
And from memory, you said that anger was the most difficult to control out of the three.
Lust, actually, Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajogun Samadbhava. Krishna has said that. And when the lust is not completed, that becomes anger. When the lust is completed, it becomes greed. So lust is the root cause, which Krishna says in 3rd chapter, 336 or 337.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So because suppose lust means, again, lust doesn't mean male-female attraction. It can be for a small little thing as well. I can be lusty, Nityananda Maharaj said, for a pakoda. I see a pakoda and without offering, without considering Krishna first, I said, oh, pakoda is so nice, I pick up and eat. So Maharaj said, you can be lusty for a pakoda as well. And then from the small desire to a big desire. And when someone else takes a pakoda, Prabhuji, you hate me, you're this and that, just from a pakoda or a small thing, the disagreement may start and end up in a big fight, angry. And if we are able to, and a small example can be a lottery, if you put, $10 and you get $100, so you get greedy. Wow, that's really nice. I can make $10 into $100 very quickly. So it becomes greed or anger. But the bottom line is your lusty desires means, lust means here, you want to enjoy separate with Krishna. When you are enjoying with Krishna, which is perfectly fine, that's called love. So when we are trying to satisfy Krishna's senses, it's called love. And when you are trying to satisfy our senses, it's called lust. That's the only difference. That's what.
Just remembering Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Swami's and mango.
Mango example. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you please elaborate? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, what did he say?
Bhakti Siddhanta, so Saraswati Thakur, right, Prabhu?
Yeah, so but Bhaktivinoda Thakur chastised Bhakti Siddhanta
Chastising.
Maharaj.
Without offering the thing, you should not eat.
And he was only 4-year-old.
4 years old, yeah.
So a 4-year-old boy did not offer mango to Lord. And it says Bhaktivinoda Thakur did not chastise like in a strong word, just said, my dear boy, you should always offer to Krishna and then accept the mango. 4-year-old Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj that time took these words so seriously. For the rest of his whole life, he did not touch mango. He said, I'm an offender of mango. I've eaten mango without offering to Krishna. Wow. What an example. What an example. How many times we do these things on a regular basis? Can't even count, huh? And it can be not just a gross thing, it can be thoughts as well, isn't it? We enjoy in our mind as well. Huh? We enjoy many things in our, we see something, wow, so beautiful, huh? We enjoy, that's also, we haven't offered that thing to Krishna. We are enjoying in separate with Krishna. But at the same time, as Chaitanya Prabhu was saying, when he came here in the seminar, one example, and he keeps giving different classes, he visited some country somewhere, a man will not smile or laugh when Prabhu will crack the jokes. And Prabhu afterwards found out what's the problem. And this man said, Prabhu, I don't want to become selfish. I don't want to enjoy separation with Krishna. And if I laugh, I may be laughing for myself. So I want to laugh for Krishna. So and Prabhu was like, take it easy. Take it easy. Huh? You can laugh on the jokes. You can laugh on the jokes. But the principle should be maintained. These are all details. You laugh or you cry and all those things. And the principle is we're trying to offer our whole life to Krishna. Okay, 1623. I love this verse. I'm not sure whether it's in the list. It should be in your personal list, I'm sure. Madhuri Mataji, would you like to do?
Yes, Prabhu. So here, in this verse, they say like Ya Shastra Vidhim Ustrijya. So those who deny following scriptural injunctions, rules, and regulations, and they act on their own. Vartate Kama Karata. So based on their own whimsical way, they act according to their own ways. Then nasa siddhim avapnoti. They will never attain perfection. Na siddhim avapnoti. Na sukham na paramgati. They neither enjoy, like they attain happiness, nor they will attain paramgati. That is ultimate destination, supreme destination.
Thank you, Mata. Very nice. So Mataji has translated each word nicely. So 3 results are given in this particular verse. Na siddhim, na sukham, na paramgatim. That's 3 things. And what's the root cause of it? Ya sastram vidhim usajja. So if we are working as per our own whims, and we'll see this verse getting expanded in the next chapter soon. We're only working as per, I like to do this, but Prabhu, this is not what Shastra likes. So what will be the result? You think you are becoming sukhi, you're becoming happy, but you will not be able to achieve the real happiness or a perfection. Perfection here refers to, so sukha refers to immediate happiness, and perfection refers to in that field which you want to be happy in. And paramgati, the supreme destination. You will not be able to achieve immediate, long-term in this life or in the next life as well. So what should you do? 1624, final verse. Anyone can do it. Who hasn't done as yet? Okay, Jai Dharma Prabhu ki Jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
This is the gist of the previous 2. So I think in the 22nd we were talking about how a person who is able to get rid of the kama, krodha, and lust, they can gradually come to the level of self-realization and go to the supreme destination, provided they follow the Vedic injunctions. Similarly, in 23rd, we talked about the people, vikarmis, who don't follow the Vedic injunctions. So they will fall down and they will not be able to attain the perfection. So I think based on these 2, in this shloka it said tasmat. So therefore one should understand the importance of the scriptures and try to do the take them as evidence and accordingly try to avoid the forbidden activities, the vikarmas, and try to involve in the devotional service so that they understand the importance and finally they'll reach the supreme destination. And one will get elevated and finally gets, yeah. So other important, I think, pramanam, which is an evidence, akarya, which is forbidden activities, and yavasistha in determining, and vidhana is regulations, and uktam, as stated, karma, we have seen it's about kartum, by doing so iha, in this world.
Yeah.
So,
very nicely explained. So 1622 is like a root. If you get rid of these three anarthas, what you get? Yati param gatim. And now if you don't do it, so 1623, tell the negation of it. So if you don't do it, you don't get all these three things. But if you do it, tasmat shastram praman. So everything should be done as per the shastra. If shastra is saying you do it, it's not based on your mood or your logic or tradition or culture and all those things. So traditionally, we've been eating meat. Traditionally, we've been drinking alcohol. Traditionally, many people wants to do something and they blame the tradition. Hamare tradition mein aisa hai. Our culture is saying like that. Many times, people take shelter of those things because they want to do it. If they don't want to do it, they say, "Main nahi manta." I don't consider all these culture and traditions. So whenever they want to do something, they take shelter. And when they don't want to do something, they sort of reject. But our acceptance or rejection should be based on Shastra Praman. What is Shastra saying? Now, we may not be able to do it. That's okay. But we should at least accept, no, this is Shastra, says like that. And I'm struggling to do that. But one day, I wish I would be able to do that. So at least you're on the right path. Karya, akarya. What karya means what should be done. Akarya, what should not be done. The Praman, the basis should be the scriptures, not our own whims. Okay, thank you. So let's move to our next chapter, which is 17. I have given the context earlier, but let's do it again. So it all starts from 13.22, whether the bhoktratve mentality or the enjoying mentality is in the jiva, which gets nourished by the water of three modes, which is chapter 14. Then the plant grows into a big tree of entanglement, which we all are entangled in, which is chapter 15, upside down tree. And then in that tree, we have two extremes. One are like on the top is top range, which is like the divine people, and one on the bottom, which is the demoniac people, which is what we discussed in 16th chapter. Now, Arjun is going to ask if, I'll show you a verse, is 1623, which is what we have just discussed. Yah Shastram Vidhim Utsrajya, which is what we were discussing earlier. So if you don't follow scriptural rules and regulations, what happens? Na siddhim, na sukham, na param gatim. This is what happens. Now Arjun is saying, okay, they don't follow Shastra, but they still follow something. So they are in the middle range. They're not extreme divine or extreme demoniac. They have some Shraddha. They want to do something. They do some sacrifice. They do some tapa and some dana, but in the middle range. So what will be the gati of those people will be explained in this particular chapter. So Prabhupada writes the chapter name as the divisions of faith. And in Sanskrit, it's called Shraddha-traya Vibhaga Yoga. Shraddha-traya means the Shraddha is based on three. Three means here refers to three gunas, which is goodness, passion, and ignorance. So some people have Shraddha, which is a mode of goodness. Some have Shraddha in mode of passion. Some have Shraddha in mode of ignorance. So we'll see what those people are and what their activities are in different areas like food, sacrifice, austerity, charity. These are the four different sections which Krishna is going to cover in this particular chapter primarily. Yes, Madhvi Mataji.
Prabhu, sorry, this is a basic question. So Bhagavad Gita completely is divided in three sections, right? Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. So
on a very high level, yes.
So from 12th chapter to 13th chapter onwards to 18th, it's a Jnana Yoga, right? But
it
here
says from Jnana Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. So it's not Jnana Yoga or Jnana Yoga. And we have been seeing these verses in each chapter. You can see, Mataji, which defines clearly about bhakti. In 30th chapter, Krishna talks about bhakti. 14th chapter, Krishna talks about bhakti. 15th, he talks about surrender, prapadyante, in the 3rd or 4th verse. So in each chapter, he's talking. So that's why it says, taking from jnana to bhakti in these subsequent chapters. And that's why if you see 18th chapter towards the end is totally bhakti from 1864 onwards.
Okay, so
And
we
the
cannot
first
see
one
it
is
as a
from
Jnana
karma.
Yoga, but
No, the Jnana Yoga, within the Jnana section, what we are trying to say, bringing from Jnana Yogi to a Bhakti Yogi. And in the
elevation.
first, yes, in the first 6 chapters also called from Karma Yoga to Bhakti Yoga. So all the Karma Yoga has been also explained. Second chapter, Bhakti Yoga is explained. In from 3rd onwards, he starts speaking. And then 6th chapter end, you see, Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. So he establishes, that's a verse. I mean, Bhakti Yoga, obviously, Bhakti Yoga is discussed. And obviously, in 7th chapter, I'm just remembering one thing, Jnana Yogis is described in 7.19. So what's the end of Jnana Yogi? Bahunam janunam te jnanvan mam prapadate. So Jnanvan word is there. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatna Sudurlabha. So they also end up in what? Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And we talk about atheism, so Arthu Jigyasu Arthati. So everyone sort of should be coming on that path.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So let's start text 1 of 17th chapter, which is again a question of Arjuna, and then Krishna will respond in practically the whole chapter. Who hasn't done as yet? I see Divya Mataji. Hare Krishna, if you can.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhu.
Mataji.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Ye Shastra Vidim Ustriya.
Ye Shastra Vidim Utsrajya.
Yajante Shraddhayan Vita.
Yajante Shraddhayan Vitaha.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtha Tuka Krishna.
Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Sattvam Aho Rajastamaha.
Translation. Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture, but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? Thank you,
Mataji. So this question is clearly taken from 1623, where Krishna is saying, "Ya Shastram Vidim Usraja." So Arjuna has sort of captured Krishna's words and saying, okay, I understand, but these people, Shastra Vidim Usraja, that is correct, but Yajante Shraddhayan Vita, but they're still doing Yajan with some Shraddha. They have some Shraddha. So they are in Sattva, Rajas, or Tama? So Krishna, please elaborate on this particular point. So Arjuna is asking that question very nicely. So let's see what Krishna says in response to that. Raghavi Mataji, if you like to read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sri Bhagwan Uvacha.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha.
Trividha Bhavati Shraddha.
Trividha Bhavati Shraddha.
Dehinam Sasvabhavaja.
Dehinam Sasvabhavaja.
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva.
Satvaki Rajasi Chaiva.
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrinu.
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrinu.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of 3 kinds, in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance. Now hear about this.
Thank you, Mataji. So what Krishna is saying, Trividha Bhavati Shraddha. So what is saying, Bhavati, to be, Shraddha is the faith, Trividha, can be of 3 types. So your faith can be of 3 types. Now the second line is very important. Dehinam, obviously one who has Deha. Sa Swabhava Ja. Ja refers to Janma. So by their nature, they have some sort of Shraddha. Like Vena was born in the family of Anga Maharaj. And Prahlad was born in a family of Hiranyakashipu. So the father or the parent in both cases didn't want to give they wanted to give their Shraddha to their children, but it did not pass like that. So from Janma, from the birth, they had a particular Shraddha. Was a faith or a faithlessness, whatever it was, but it was Swabhavaja. And then Krishna again repeats the Arjuna's words, they can be Sattvaki, Rajasi, or Tamasi. tam shunu. So please hear from me. The important word here is, if you look at the Arjuna's question here, I put 17.1. Arjuna is already asking what sort of Tesham nishthaduka Krishna Sattvam Aho Rajas Tama. So Arjuna has already used the word Sattva, Rajas, and Tamaha. So he already is aware of. It seems like Krishna is sort of responding back to these three things. So what's the point of Krishna repeating the same thing which is asked in the question? The point is not that. The emphasis here is Dehi Namsa Swabhavaja. That Shraddha has come from where? Swabhava. Swabhava, in one sense, we can say the way we perceive different things, the way we think, the way we act, and the way we respond. This is called our Swabhava, isn't it? The way you perceive the things can be very different than your brother perceives the thing, isn't it? Many times it happens. In the same family, the twins are there. The brother is thinking completely differently than the other brother. One story I heard from Radheshyam Prabhu, very nice, a small one. There was one billionaire in America. He had two sons, and he was a big drunkard. So later on, his one of the boy became drunkard, same as the father. His father passed away. So reporter went and asked this guy, so what did you learn from your father? He said, drinking alcohol. He said, I saw whole life my father drinking alcohol. So my father was so bad, I learned drinking alcohol in a very early age. Okay, nice. They went to the second guy. He was a very big, successful lawyer. And he said, what did you learn from my father? He said, I learned from my father never to touch alcohol. The same situation was there for both boys. They both learned exactly opposite lesson. So one learned to drink alcohol from an early age, another learned drinking alcohol is completely waste of time in life. I should never touch alcohol. This is called Subhava. The way we think, the way we perceive different things. And then we think and perceive, and then we act and respond in a particular way. So this is the Subhava which has been mentioned. And then Krishna will mention a very nice verse 3. Okay, Rasanand Prabhuji, you wanted to say something?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, as you are saying about Swabhava, like we do sanskars, do the Swabhava changes by doing sanskars?
Yes, thank you. Very nice question. So the answer is yes. So all these sanskaras, which Garbhadan sanskar, Namkaran sanskar, and different sanskar which parents do they help that living entity to uplift the Swabhava. So it says it does help in shaping the Swabhava, but it does not always determine the Swabhava. Determine means someone can still be very engulfed in their Swabhava. I'm thinking about Vena, for example. Anga Maharaj tried every single possible thing to convert Vena into a good human being, but he himself had to run to the jungle. I'm assuming everyone knows the story of Vena and Anga Maharaj from 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he had to one day disappear, such a great king, such a great devotee. And in the jungle, he composed this famous verse which says, if you get a good son, you get attached to it. It's very natural, good son or a daughter. You get attached to your children. So getting a bad son is not a bad idea. I thanks to Lord Vishnu for giving me a bad son because I was never attached to my son. So thank you to Lord Vishnu. So he perceived in a very different way. Although physically he had to go through so much actually because of that son. And same Hiranyakashipu thought, my son is a black spot in my dynasty. He said that. So you are the black spot in my dynasty. He called Prahlad. You're a black spot. In our glorious dynasty, you're the only black spot. So the way Hiranyakashipu is thinking, the way Anga Maharaj is thinking, so different. So it's called Sabhava. But yeah, so these sanskaras, blessings of other devotees or elderly people, they definitely help. They definitely help. And that's why no matter what Swabhava the children have, parents do all the sanskaras so that their Swabhava can become a sattvic Swabhava, a goodness Swabhava. And if they're already in goodness, so as we know, goodness is not just one sort of stagnant picture, it's a range. So if you are in goodness, if more good comes to you, what happens? You become better good. And eventually you become pure good, like Shuddha Sattva. Okay. Ujjwala Samataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Is there a component of previous birth, like a subtle body from the previous birth, which also there's a component of Swabhava, how it's made up?
Definitely, Prabhuji. Your Swabhava means not your body, it's your subtle body. So your mind, intelligence, and false ego, which covers the soul, which you carry, everyone carries in the next body. So this body will be left behind one day. But the subtle body, which you have sort of created in this particular birth, will be carried over. So definitely, that's why what we are trying today, by chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, doing small devotional service for the Lordships, we are trying to change or purify our subtle body. His Holiness Keshav Maharaj was giving a class, and he said very nicely, when we leave this body, we will not be able to take our beads with us. We are chanting Hare Krishna on our beads, and some beads are 20-year-old, and we love our beads. Even as aspiring devotee, we love our beads. We respect our beads. We keep our beads very close to our heart. But when we die, we will not be able to take the beads. Even if you're a sannyasi, can you take your danda? I'm a sannyasi. At least I should be allowed to take a danda. Sannyasi is a big thing. You will not be allowed to take any one of these things. But what you will be forced to take away, your subtle body. So with all the beads and danda and all the devotional service, all the jhadu poncha which you do for Krishna in the temple or at your home temple, this is just to purify your subtle body. Your sattva should increase. That's all it is. Your Guru Maharaj blessing, your Vaishnava's blessing, this Vaishnava association, all these Bhakti Shastri so-called we are doing, to aspire for one thing. Our subtle body gets modified. It changes, because it says atom bomb can ruin your body and completely destroy your body, but does not have capacity to destroy your false ego. Atom bomb doesn't have that capacity. Even if you sleep on the length of Brahma's night, you get up again, you get another body, you start again. If you were foolish earlier, you still start from foolish number one. So subtle body is the main thing which we are trying to achieve with all these activities. Okay. Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhu, just want to quickly share something. It was very helpful for the like swabhav, to change the swabhav of the children in the house. I heard it in a lecture. So it was said, for example, as parents, we also give them mode of goodness, mode of passion. So there are like 4 the Varnashrama where, so the speaker was telling that if the child has done done stealing, has stolen something, so if we want to make him in a mode of goodness, in Brahmanical, then we tell the child, you are such a good boy, why did you do that? But if we want to we want to make the child a Kshatriya. If a parent is Kshatriya, then the parent will disrespect in front of everybody and give a tight slap. So the child will feel disrespectful, and then there would be Kshatriya qualities more. And sometimes we tell the child that if you steal again, something I will take away from you. You will not go there. You will not do this. I will not allow that. That kind of punishment makes the child in more like a Vaishya. It will be greedy. And then if we beat the child without telling them what they did, we make them Shudra.
Nice.
I really like this, that we can tell the child to introspect what you have done rather than taking all these other options.
So that's very nice. Very nice. I'm remembering Dhruv Maharaj pastime where it says Suruchi could take worst out from Dhruva, and Suniti could take the best out of Dhruva. So 2 mothers treating the child differently. One could do the very harm to the child by speaking harsh words and shaking his Kshatriya mentality, as you're saying, Mataji. So he became very revengeful to that mother, but the other mother took the best out of Dhruva. He said, okay, you forgive her. You go to Lord Vishnu. Thank you. Nice analogy. Okay. 17.2. Oh, sorry, we have done that. 17.3. Who hasn't done as yet? I would prefer Prasannatma Prabhu, hiding behind.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Sattvanurupa sarvasya.
Sattvanurupa sarvasya.
Shraddha bhavati bharata.
Shraddha bhavati bharata.
Shraddha mayoyam purusho.
Shraddha mayoyam purusho.
Yo yaj shraddha स एव सः.
Yo yat shraddha sa eva saha.
Translation. O son of Bharata, according to one's existence under the various modes of nature, one evolves a particular kind of faith. The living being is said to be of particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. So it's just a continuation of the previous 17.2. It's saying Sattva na Rupa Sarvasya. So Sattva refers to according to one's existence. Now, how he has existed in the past, what he has acquired. There's a whole sort of different discussion, but the end result is he has acquired particular modes of material nature. He has shaped his subtle body accordingly. And Shraddha Mayoyam Purusha. So Purusha is made up of Shraddha. And that is very correct. Like we talk about Anandamayo, Jiva is Anandamay. And now here Krishna is using the word Shraddhamay. So everyone has some Shraddha. Now you can say, what about these atheist people? They don't have any Shraddha. So Chaitanya Prabhu responds to that. They also have Shraddha. So atheist people, they have Shraddha or faith in the existence of God, and atheists have Shraddha in non-existence of God. They also have Shraddha. So no one is without Shraddha. The Shraddha can be in a reasonable Shraddha or unreasonable Shraddha. It says we put Shraddha when we sit in the airplane, isn't it? We put Shraddha in the pilot or in a train driver, or in a metro who's driverless trains. But we put our Shraddha when we step out of the house or within the house. I have Shraddha that my roof will not fall on my head while we are doing this class or afterwards. I have that Shraddha. Now it may fall, but at least the Shraddha is there. It should not fall. The probability is quite low. So Shraddha Mayoyam Purusha. So everyone based on their Shraddha. I remember His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj was telling one incident of his own class. One man asked Maharaj, if God exists, then why we are not able to see God? I can't see God. Everywhere is so much going on and I can't see God. And Maharaj responded, I'm surprised to hear your sentence, and I'm surprised how you're not able to see God. I see God everywhere. So Maharaj is also living in the same so-called world in which we are living, but he is saying it's so difficult not to see Krishna. And this man is saying, Maharaj, I can't see Krishna. All these scriptural statements, this and that, but I can't see Krishna. So this is called Shraddha. So Maharaj, all people like Maharaj have so much Shraddha, they can see. And Prabhupada was asked, have you seen Krishna? Prabhupada said, yes. I've seen Krishna. I talk to Krishna as I talk to you. And he said, you can also talk to Krishna face to face. Just a matter of Shraddha. So Prabhupada had that Shraddha, Maharaj. And that's why I say it's a journey of Shraddha. Other Shraddha starts from Shraddha, and Prema is also Shraddha. But Prema is the topmost Shraddha. Other Shraddha is the little initial faith. And it can also be a curiosity. Can also be translated. It's a little curiosity. What are these Hare Krishna? What is this Bhagavad Gita? What is this Bhagavatam? So it's all about Shraddha. So Krishna is saying Purusha is made up of Shraddha. Very bold statement Krishna is giving. So in the last line I wanted to do Yo yat Shraddha Sahib. So based on the Shraddha, they are like that. So now Krishna will in detail describe who these people are based on different types of Shraddha. 17.4, who would like to do? Anyone?
I can do from right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Yajante
This is also
Satvika
a famous
Deva.
verse. Yajante Satvika
Sorry.
Devan. Okay, Madhuri Mataji. A
Yaksharaksh.
question? Sorry, we're getting a little confused. Maybe let's clarify Madhuri Mataji's comment.
Yeah. Sir, sorry,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Madhuri Mataji, go ahead.
I was about to ask the question. Yeah, in 17.3, there are two lines, right, Prabhu? So actually, there is no difference between the two lines, isn't it? Or is Krishna trying to say differently? If you go back to 17.3, so in the first line, Krishna says,
Yes, Mataji. You can see the screen, Mataji?
yes.
I think there's a lag.
So here Krishna says firstly that So
The word
according to
sattva is
one's
used, not
existence,
shraddha. Sattva. Sattva is existence, not shraddha.
yeah. So according to their existence under the three modes of material nature, that means when they are born, when they are existed, they are born with particular mode, mode, based on their previous actions or karma, whatever
Exactly.
it is, we
Exactly.
can say.
Yes. Yeah.
So one evolves a particular kind of faith.
Yeah.
The living being is said to be of a particular faith according to the modes he has acquired. So this is the same thing. He put it in a different way. Am I right? Or what Krishna is saying is like you will be acquiring a different faith
Okay.
during the body. Okay.
So in a simple language, there are two things. So one, you're born with some sort of modes or shraddha, you can say, right? And then another thing which you're talking about, Garbhadan sanskara and the sanskara, which will shape your shraddha further. It can make it worse or it can make it better. Right? So based on the environment you receive after you have taken birth, your shraddha may increase or decrease. Your father may be the best pious person in the city. We may become the worst man in the city, for example, or other way.
Yeah.
So it's
based on what association we are getting.
It's a combination of both. So initially you have a stock, say 10% stock, you may acquire more stock of shraddha, or you may decrease the stock which you had because of your childhood was, not good or something.
Yes, Prabhu, in the life.
Both are there. But
thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's a very complex subject matter. Who will acquire what? Very difficult to say. As I said, one family can have two children, can be very, very different. Father gave the same education to both. It says Duryodhana and Arjun or Yudhishthira both went to the same academy, Dronacharya Academy, but they became so different because from the very beginning they had a particular stock. So Duryodhana sort of got degraded and Yudhishthira improved. So both went to same academy, same teacher, same books they were reading, same exams they were appearing, but the end result was so different.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Shyamati Mataji, please continue.
Yeah. Yajante satvika devan.
Yajante satvika devan.
Rakshasmi rajasa.
Yaksha rakshansi rajasaha.
Pretan bhutam ganam chanye.
Pretan bhuta ganashanye.
Yajanti tamasajana.
Yajante tamasajanaha.
Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. And those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Krishna is talking the worship aspect here. Yajante Satvika Devas. So one who are in Sattva worship Devatas. Now you would have heard one who worship Vishnu is in mode of goodness, one who worship Brahmaji is in mode of passion, one who worship Lord Shiva is in mode of ignorance. Now here they are saying anyone who have this demigod worship attitude, he is in Sattva. So now how do you reconcile both statements? Anyone reconcile both statements? So one statement is saying worship of Brahma, for example, is mode of passion, but here Krishna is saying it's in Sattva. So it seems to be contradictory statement. How do you reconcile?
What is derived? What is the intention to serve the demigod is important.
Okay. Anything else? So even if you forget the intention part here, just take the external activity here. Someone is worshipping. This activity, why he's worshipping, okay, that's a different story. Like Hiranyakashipu was worshipping Brahmaji, he got the biggest boon as well. Anyway, so the intention, if you leave it behind, as a physical activity, we see worship, two different statements are given in Shastra. How do you reconcile them? Basically, the answer is, I think, yes, Madhuri Mataji?
Because here Krishna is saying, based on whom we are worshipping.
So say Devan, so Shankarji is also a Devata,
so they are in the
Brahmaji is a
mode
Devata.
Because they are devatas, they are in the mode of goodness.
True.
Whereas demons, they are in the mode of passion, and then who are in the ghosts are in the mode of ignorance. So the worship, when you are worshipping worshipping the personality who is in mode of goodness, that's what Krishna is saying, trying to say.
So if I'm worshipping Lord Shiva, I'm in mode of ignorance?
No,
Sorry, I'm
Prabhu,
just
because
asking.
yeah. But Lord Shiva is not in mode of ignorance.
Yes,
He
we're not
is
talking about Lord Shiva. We're talking about the person. I am worshipping Lord Shiva.
yes.
Am I in ignorance? But this statement says I am in sattva. That's what
Yeah,
my question is.
yeah. All demigods are in mode of goodness. That's why
Yes, that is correct.
when we worship demigods, that is mentioned as mode of goodness worship. That worship qualifier for that worship is mode of goodness, but not the person, nor this is my
A simple explanation
I mean,
is
is they are following some scriptural regulations like Vedas.
okay. We're getting complex here. It's very simple. Sattva is a range. We talked about animals. Cow is in ignorance, goodness.
Yes.
Lion is in ignorance, passion. Similarly, worship of Devata it's definitely goodness. Definitely. Within goodness, worship of Vishnu is goodness. Worship of Brahmaji is goodness, passion. And Shivji is goodness, ignorance. But the spectrum is of goodness. So many times we, as Conwalas, I can say here, and there are many bad examples actually where we sort of criticize demigod worship. But here it's saying you are in sattva. So we should never criticize. We should never criticize anyone. But demigod worshippers are not in mode of ignorance. They are in sattva. Now, within sattva, they may be on a lower or middle range. That's a different story. And again, that worship may not purify them, but we should by default understand their bottom line is actually sattva. So we should not, many people are, killing people, hurting people, lying from other corrupt people, but they are worshipping demigods, even for the material desires. So the bottom line we should understand and respect them is they are actually in sattva. Now, within sattva, obviously, there are different shades of sattva. That's a different story. So that's why Krishna is very clearly putting the statement, Yajante Sattvika Devans, if you're worshipping Devata, you are in Sattva. Now, within Sattva, obviously, we say worship Vishnu because he will not only give you the result, but he will also purify your heart. Akama sarvakama vayo mokshkama dardi tivren bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So, you have no kamana, akama, you have sarvakama, you have mokshkama, whatever kamana you have, go to Lord Vishnu. But even if you go to Lord Shivji, for example, you are in Sattva to start with. Now, again, there are different intentions as someone was mentioning. We'll discuss about that in a minute. Okay, Manmohan Prabhu.
You might be coming back to it, Prabhu, but like where would we categorize Hiranyakashipu and Ravana according to this classification?
Can I park that for a minute? We'll come back to it because Krishna gives that answer. We'll listen from Krishna's mouth.
Thanks, sir.
Sundar Gopal Prabhu or Mataji?
Prabhuji, the verse which was Yanti Devavrata Devan Pitran Yanti, is it similar to this one?
That was the destination of the worshipper. Here we're talking about the worship itself, the activity itself, not the result of the activity. Like you're driving a car, your end result may be, Hare Krishna temple, or your end result may be Kurula beach or something. But we're talking about the driving activity here, not your destination in this verse.
Okay.
That's 925 verses 17.4. Good comparison. I like it. Yeah, we should start comparing some verses here and there. But this activity, that's the result, and this is the activity itself.
Yes, because in the same
that's why
things, Devavrata and then Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja. So they're similar.
Destinations. There, the nature of the destination was not spoken. Here, the nature of the destination is spoken. You are in tamas, you are in rajas. So you will arrive to bhutas. You worship bhutas, you arrive. But who are these bhutas? That was not discussed earlier.
Oh.
Now here, Krishna is sort of discussing who are them. They're nice beings. Suppose you have no knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and like, bhutas are not bad. Like one joke, I think Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj was giving one man, after leaving his body, he went to Yamraj or Yamdutas, I should rather say, and they said, you have done so many bad activities and some good activities. So would you like to take good result first or the bad result? Would you like to go to hell or Swarga first? He said, how does Swarga look like? So they showed, Nandan garden and all that in Swargloka. And he said, you only have very little time in Swargloka. Okay, bad one. They showed him McDonald's and KFCs and Subways and all that. And clubs and bars and all those things. And he said, oh, hell actually doesn't look so bad. And this is what I've been doing my whole life. So why don't I try it again? He said, okay, welcome to hell. As soon as he arrived there, instead of getting a McDonald's burger, his skins were ripping apart. He was put into the boiling oil and all that, and he was shouting, Yamraj, Yamraj, injustice have been done to me. They've been lying to me. And Yamraj saying, why are you shouting so much? And he said, I was shown the picture of KFC and McDonald's and clubs and alcohol and all that, and they put me into this condition. And Yamraj said, that was just an advertisement. That was just an advertisement of the product. Now it's the real product. So if you eat McDonald's and KFC and go to bars and clubs, where you will end up? Here only. Huh? So the advertisement starts from Earth planet itself. So you have to end up there. So, okay. Coming back, why did I went in that direction first? What was the question on which we were discussing all this?
You were discussing
questionnaire itself.
that
the modes of faith, Prabhu.
Destination
What's
and
okay? Yes, destination, the nature of the
Right.
activity.
Whether
Okay.
Vishnu, Brahma, and Shiva. Yeah.
Okay,
But
thank you,
discussing
Prabhuji.
the range of sattva and the range.
Thank you. So everyone is listening the class nicely. Thank you. Everyone is awake. Thank you. Okay, Manmohan Prabhu, we'll get back to your question. It's written.
Prabhu, one question.
Yes,
is
Prabhuji,
Vishnu, you're saying the way you consider, is it a demigod worship of Vishnu?
Not really, but when we talk about Deva word can refer to Vishnu as well. He's Adi Deva. Huh? So Deva is like a category, you can say. Huh? Obviously, Deva will have different meanings at different places, but you can say Deva as Vishnu as well. Vishnu, but he's Adi Deva. He's not just like it says. Example, Jiva Goswami gives. In a college is a principal and their teacher. Now, principal is also a teacher. He might be taking chemistry classes or physics classes. He also takes classes, but he's just not a teacher. He is a principal teacher. He's a principal of the whole college, but he's also acting as a teacher. That's what Jiva Goswami gives. So Krishna is also there, but he's Adi Deva. He's also Bhagwan. He's Swayam Bhagwan. So it's very specific. But in a category, if you want to put him, yes, you can put him. But it's a very special category within that category. Yeah. Okay, let's move forward. So Yajante Satika Devan, so that's very clear. We're talking a range here, and the bottom line we are saying is goodness, because they do consider they're not atheist people. Huh? They're not murdering and slaughtering other people. They start going to demigods and ask for some benefit. And we'll come back to Manmohan Prabhu, because that question, Prabhuji, belongs to more intention part here. Huh? Intention part. Now, Hiranyakashipu intention from the very beginning was bad. And then he worshipped Lord Brahmaji, and then he got the result again for destruction. He wanted to kill Vishnu. And then when he came back, he was using his powers, or I should rather say misusing his powers to kill Brahmanas and creating all the demonic culture. Okay, Yaksha Rakshansi Rajasa. So if you are in Rajas, Yaksha and Rakshasas you will worship. Again, you want to achieve great powers and harm others many, many times. Yakshas are like, now Kubera is an odd man out. He's a devotee. Dhruv Maharaj seeked his blessing in Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's definitely a devotee. But other Yakshas, they're very powerful beings. And also Yaksha is referred in Mahabharata. If you remember the Kamivan pastime when Duryodhana arrived to show off to Pandavas, Yakshas were already there. And Duryodhana said, the soldier said to Yakshas, we want to camp here. Get out. And Yakshas started laughing at Duryodhana. We are Yakshas. We don't take orders. We give orders to humans. Huh? So humans are like an insect in front of Yakshas. Huh? Rakshasi Jajasa. Example of Rakshasa. Anyone remembers? Rakshas example. Now it's in Mahabharata and Ramayana both. You can give anyone. Rakshasas. Ravan was a Rakshasa. Huh? The whole race was Rakshasa. Huh? So in Ramayana we see he was a Daitya. He's a son of Diti. So the subtle differences. They're all demoniac people, but subtle differences. Rakshasa is example in Ravan. And it says in Mahabharata, Ghatotkach was obviously is a son of Bhima, sort of mix here, but the race here is Rakshasa. And also on Kaurava side, is one Rakshasa called Alambush. He wanted to take revenge from Ghatotkach, so he was fighting from the Duryodhana side. So there was a mix here. So in Ramayana, if you see there's Rakshas versus humans, and here humans versus humans, but with Rakshasa mentality, and there are multiple other species involved as well in Mahabharata war. So some Rakshasas were also considered Rakshas. Okay. Preta Bhutan Ganesh. Huh?
Brahmin, right? This Ravana
born as, yes, Mataji, Vishrava, born as a Brahman, but he became a Rakshasa. Because the mother, Kakashi, was a Rakshasi. He adopted more motherly nature than the fatherly nature, and Vishrava was not very happy about it. And we see in Sastava Arjun's pastime where he went to Sastava Arjun when he captured Ravan like a machar. He said to Sastava Arjun, please leave him. He's a naughty child. So Sastava Arjun respected a sadhu, a Brahman, and he sort of accepted, okay, I'll leave him, but never come in this kingdom again. So Vishrava was not very happy about it. But Kakasi was very happy. Actually, Kakasi was given this project to approach Vishrava because Kakasi, as a Rakshasi, sorry to divert into this direction, was a whole project given to Kakasi, because if Kakasi marries with a Rakshasa, Rakshasa will not be very powerful. But if Kakasi produces a son from a Brahmana, the son will be very powerful. So it's a whole pre-planned project, actually, pre-planned project. And Kakasi, that's why I approached Vishrava, and he sort of accepted Kakasi's proposal. And then Raman was born, and the Kakasi was happy about it because this is exactly what she wanted, desired. Okay.
Asura will also be considered as a Rakshas category.
Asura is a category, you can say. Within that category, we have Yaksha, Rakshasa, Daitya, Danava. So Danava is the son of Danu, which is again the wife of Kashyap Rishi, or Diti. So the different category. Asur is a normal category, and within that we have subcategories, but they're all demons. They're all demons. And not only they are demons, we are also demons because we have demonic mentality. It says in demon races, devotees were born, like Prahlad was born. And we are talking Yaksha versus Kubera. So Prahlad versus Daityas, and Vibhishan versus Rakshasas. So it's not a blank statement that all the demons, all the demonic species will have demons. There will be devotees as well, another way as well. Okay, so Pretan Bhutgarashanya. So if you are Tamas, you worship Pretas and Bhutas. Okay, let's move forward. 17.5 and 6. Priya Mataji, would you like to do 1 or 2?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
5. Ashastra vihitam ghoram.
Ashastra vihitam ghoram.
Tapyante yat tapojana.
Tapyante ye tapojanaha.
Dambhankara samyukta.
Dambhankara samyuktaha.
Kamaraga balamvita.
Kamaraga balanvitaha.
I continue with 6 as well?
Yes, but just do that because they're both similar verses. Prabhupada has put them together.
Karsayanta sharirastam.
Karshayantaha sharirastham.
Bhutagramam achetasa.
Bhutagramam achetasaha.
Mam chevanta sharirastam.
Mama chaivantaha sharirastham.
Tanvidhi asura nishchayan.
Tanvidhi asura nishayan.
Those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, who are impelled by lust and attachment, who are foolish and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the super soul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So this verse gives the definition of asuras. Tan vidhi asura nischayan. So nischay means definitely. So Krishna is very positively, definitely saying this is the definition of asura. What is the definition? Ashastra vihitam. So first thing they start from Ashastra. So if you remember in 16.22, 23, 24, Shastra Praman is mentioned, is emphasized. You should act according to Shastra. Karya vyavasthita. What should be done, what should not be done. So first point Krishna is saying, whatever activities that Ashastra vihitam, that is not Vedic. It's not written Shastra. Ghoram Prabhupada writes as harmful to others. Tapyante, they're also doing tapa, but what sort of tapa? They are doing ghor tapa. And the example, Manmohan Prabhuji, coming back to your Hiranyakashipu example, and we'll see how your question fits in this particular verse. Tapyante ye tapojana. They are doing tapasya. Now, usually tapasya word is considered a very positive word. But here we see they are doing ghor tapasya, but in a negative sense. Why? Ashastra vihitam is not written in Shastra. And what is the motive? Dambha and ahankar, pride and arrogance. So they're doing tapasya with dambha. I will kill Lord Vishnu. So with the tapasya, I will gain some strength and I will kill Vishnu. Or whatever. I'm remembering Brakasur as well. Brakasur wanted to have Parvati ji, and he was worshipping Shiva to get a blessing to kill Shiva. Just imagine these sort of worships. Huh? So worship someone to kill that person. Huh? This is called asura. So Prabhu, this definition of asura, Manmohan Prabhuji, will sort of override the previous definitions. Huh? And they are called asuras. And we'll see all these categories. Kam, Rag, Balanvita. In their heart is a lot of attachment and a lot of lust or desires are there. A lot of desires are there. Karshayanta sharirastham. Their karshan refers to struggling. They sort of torture their body. In India, you would have seen some people do whipping on their back. I don't know what you call that. I've seen it once or twice at least. It's very gore, very, you can't see that. And they do it. Huh? And they're doing on the name of religion. I don't understand it, but they do it. Huh? They self-torture. Too much self-torture on the name of religion. Huh? Bhuta gramam achetasa. Their sort of desire, their chitta is just misdirected. And they are saying, Mam Chaivanta Sharirastham. And I am also situated. So they're not only troubling themselves as a body, I'm talking, but also to me. Now, no one can hurt Krishna in that sense, but a father gets hurt when a son is hurt. When your children are hurt, they hurt themselves or others hurt them, you are disturbed because it's your children. You love them. Huh? So when someone is tormenting their body, torturing their body so much, Krishna is also disturbed in that sense. Come on, you don't need to do all that. Huh? So it's not leading you anywhere. So Tan Vidhi Asura Nishayan. So definitely know them to be Asura. So Manmohan Prabhu, your answer is he was an Asura because of all these intentions. When we're talking about the previous verse, Prabhu, is talking about a general worship. A person goes to Durga Ji and give me a big house, give me a good health. He's in Sattva. But we're talking about all these conditions with that worship here, that makes him an Asura. Huh? That makes him an Asura. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. I just wanted to take this through the verse itself because Krishna very beautifully explains. Yes, Sarasanand Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
Like for people, sometimes they may ask, like, we are also fasting on Janmashtami, and they are also fasting on Monday, Tuesday, or one Monday.
Yes.
So how do we justify our fasting is different from?
Very, very nice question. So many people outside, they fast for Santoshi Mata, Somvar Vrat, Mangalvar Vrat, and all that. Monday fasting, Tuesday fasting, fasting for the husband, fasting for the son, fasting for the great health and this and that. What is the difference between their fasting and our fasting on Janmashtami, on Ekadashi, and all those things? Great difference. Our principle, at least principle-wise, we are not fasting for any material gains. We are fasting for our purification and Krishna's satisfaction. That's the principle. Now, we may not be at that standard at this stage, which is different, but we are not fasting. We're not going to Hare Krishna temple and say, Krishna, I'll fast, 5 Ekadashis. Now, people do 5 Somvars, like 5 Mondays in Savan, in Shravan Mas. I'm not sure in South India and North India is very popular. Girls are fasting, boys are fasting, or looking for a suitable spouse. They fast 5 Mondays on in Shravan Mas, which comes around July, August time. So their belief is if I fast, Lord Shiva or Parvati Mata will give me a very good spouse. And that may be true. But their fasting is very different than when we fast for Purushottam Mas, which also came in July, August this year. Huh? Many devotees were fasting throughout the month, half-day fasting, or taking different vows. They were all for the pleasure of the Lord. And from our side, for our purification. I'm not so pure. I'm not such a good devotee. By doing this fasting for the pleasure of the Lord, at least in principle, I will purify myself. And it says from tapasya, you get bala. You get strength. Because if you don't do tapasya, you don't get bala. So we are doing tapasya for the pleasure of the Lord and our purification. They are doing the tapasya for their continuation of their existence in the material world. So it's a great difference. And you can also say sattva versus shuddha sattva, pure sattva. Is that okay? At least in principle. Now, we may also have some desires. That's okay. We are expressing our desire to our dear Lord. If we have a very big problem in our life, whom else we are going to go if not Krishna? So we can express our desire, but we are not worshipping Krishna only to fulfill that desire. So our expressing of desire is very different than their having the objective of their desires. Is that okay? Bhakti Rasayan Maharaj also mentioned he carries a Giriraj photo, if you remember. He has given to many devotees. I still have one photo. So Maharaj said, this Giriraj is wish-fulfilling desire. You ask anything and Giriraj will fulfill it. So now he's a sannyasi. Why is he saying that? Because he knows devotees are also humans. So we are expressing our desire, but in a way which Prabhupada has told us, Krishna, if you desire so, this is my problem of life. If you desire so, you may solve it. But if you don't desire, no problem. No problem. So we leave it to Krishna. We don't order Krishna in that sense. So great difference in our austerities and their austerities.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, let's continue here. Now Krishna will talk about food. So first, Krishna talks in first 3 verses about the worship, and now he talks about the food. Who hasn't read as yet? I'm not sure.
Can I do?
Please, Prabhu.
I'll do it, Prabhu.
Okay. Mohit Prabhu, next verse. I think first
Sure, Prabhu.
Jai Dharma Prabhuji said.
Aharastva api sarvasya
Aharastapi sarvasya
trividho bhavati priyaha
trividho bhavati priyaha
yajnastapastatadhanam
yajnastapastatha danam
tesham bhedam imam shunu.
tesham bhedam imam shunu.
Even the food each person prefers is of 3 kinds, according to the 3 modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifices, austerities, and charity. Now hear of the distinctions between them.
Thank you, Prabhu. So now, this is like an introductory verse. Krishna is saying, I will discuss 4 topics in the upcoming verses. What are the topics? Food, again in 3 modes, sacrifices in 3 modes, austerities in 3 modes. Now, for austerities, Krishna will spend 6 verses. He'll talk about the austerity of mind, body, and speech, and 3 types of austerity. So he will spend 6 verses there, and he'll talk about the charity, which is 19 to 21. So 3 verses for each category. For austerity, there are 6 verses. So Krishna is going to talk first about the food. Mohit Prabhuji.
Sure, Prabhu. Just give me a second.
Sure.
Minutes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Aho sattva balarogya.
Ayuhu sattva balarogya.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Sukha priti vivardhana.
Rasya snigdha shriya hridya.
Rasyaha snigdha sthira hridya.
Aharaha sattvika priya.
Aharaha satvika priyaha.
Translation. Food dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one existence, and give strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such food are juicy, fatty, wholesome, and pleasing to the heart.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now, these verses don't have much purport, so we'll just read through the purpose. So Ayu refers to Ayu, age. We have a science called Ayurveda, how to increase your age. So Ayu, Sattva refers to your existence. Bala is strength. Arogya means disease-free life. No roga, arogya. Sukha is happiness. Priti vivardhana, Prabhupada translates as satisfaction. So if you are in mode of goodness, what food stuff you will like, which will increase Ayu, which will purify your existence, which will give a strength, will give diseaselessness, which give happiness and satisfaction. And what these foodstuffs are? Krishna gives examples here. Rasayaha. Rasya means juicy foods. Like we have different type of juices. Isnigdha. Isnigdha, Prabhupada writes as fatty. Now here, fatty should not be taken as a meat fat. It's like a milk fat, or the fat which is good for the body. We need fat as well. Isthira, enduring. They are sthir food. They're not like what do you call this fast food? Isthira food. Hirdya, and they're very dear to it. When you eat them, you feel satisfied. Sometimes, you eat this dal roti or dal chawal. It's just so satisfying. Very simple. You sit there and eat nicely. Your heart is pleased. It may not be very opulent, but it's very simple, satisfying meal. So Krishna talks about this Sattvika Priya. Now let's talk about Rajasa Priya. Who wants to read Rajasa Priya? You don't have to be
Prabhu,
Rajasa.
actually, like nowadays, whatever is given here, we are just eat. I mean, they are recommending just the opposite of those ones. We cannot have ghee, like
But that's our problem. Now, yes, if you have diabetes, you can't have sugar and all that. But in general,
but in general also, like, all the doctors, don't eat this, don't eat it. It's just against the scriptures, what
not
Krishna
really.
is saying here.
Like Krishna always recommends to eat, like milk, butter, dahi, all these milk products. And it says the ghee, which is made up of a desi cow, Indian cow, and processed in dahi, not buttermilk. Actually, that doesn't have any fat. And that's how people in the past could have so much ghee and they will be so healthy. So that ghee, which is sort of rare to be even heard these days, what to speak of seeing and having
It's
it.
called as Annashuddhi, isn't it, Prabhu? That pure ghee is called Annashuddhi.
And that sort of purifies your body, your mind. And Prabhupada said, some people are vegan these days. Now, in practice, what they are saying is correct. There a lot of violence goes on behind the scene, and the milk is a product of violence. Up to an extent, they are right. But in principle, Prabhupada said you must take milk. Now, if possible, obviously, we take a better milk. Like we have milk available in Sydney now. But earlier, it wasn't there. So Prabhupada will not say don't drink milk, because milk is needed to purify your mind so that you can understand the spiritual subject matter. Is one example of isnigdha. Isnigdha means fatty stuff, which we are talking about. So doctors are talking different things. Again, some things may be right as well. We're not saying that. But if you look at the Vedic culture, everything was needed not only to nourish your body, but also to nourish your soul. Because when you are healthy inside, then you can understand the scriptures better. If you're not healthy inside, you have a lot of anxieties, you have problems. It's very hard to focus. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
But based on our age and health and doctor's consultation, obviously we respect their opinion. If you are diabetes, you can say, oh, Krishna said the snigdha is okay, and you start eating half kilo butter every day. That probably is not the best decision. So obviously we respect their opinion. But in general, we are talking in a healthy body, these substances were needed. And people were taking, I remember my grandfather, he will never get up without taking a big piece of sweet after each meal. He had no problem of sugar. He was 80 at least, I guess. And he had no sugar problem. And now my boy, 9-year-old, goes to a supermarket. He looks at the sugar. I'm like, what? You should not even be worried about this word sugar. Just eat and play and jump. So nowadays they are aware of this. This is sugary, this is fatty. Now, when we were young, we were never even worried about it. As many rasgullas.
Even for Janaki, no sugar, no salt for until 1 year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Okay, so there may be some conditions, and again, depending on the situation, we respect their opinion. But in general, these foodstuffs are definitely needed. They are in sattva.
I think everything is processed to a large extent these days, but very much refined.
That's true. Like if you eat
Earlier
ghee
days, it
these
was
days,
quite close to the natural.
yeah, the ghee is not natural ghee. It's not. It's like how should I say, unhealthy ghee, you can say, up to an extent. Although they may write dal shuddha desi ghee, shuddha 100% desi ghee. They have to add so many adjectives just to prove. In the past, it was just the ghee. There's only one ghee, cow ghee, best ghee, and you can eat as much as you like. Nowadays, things are very different. Bodies are different. The products in the market available are different. And the way we are consuming, Sakhi Radhika Mataji is explaining, now the way we treat children, we give them the modes as well. So the things are very different these days. So yeah, time, place, and circumstances take the best decision. Okay, Ujjwala Sa Prabhuji. Ujjwala
Yeah,
Sa Mataji or Prabhuji, yeah.
Chair. The ghee, we are talking about the ghee. So the ghee which is made by Bologna method, that is supposed to
Yes.
reduce the cholesterol. But
Yes,
nowadays the
exactly.
ghee that you get in the markets is made from the cream of the milk. So
Yes,
that is increasing the cholesterol. So one has
absolutely. That's the correct word.
yeah, the
So
Bologna.
Mataji, if you know how to make it, please let us know. We'll be interested. Bologna
I
method.
very tough making it here. I did try a couple of times.
Yeah.
So that's
The-
why we buy from the, we get it, a devotee group is there and
Gujarat.
order it from India,
Gujarat.
from Gujarat.
Okay, here we go. So everyone knows now where to order the Shuddha ghee. Okay, it's 8:59.
No, I can do 9th.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
I can do the 9th one.
Prabhu, I think it's 8:59. Let's stop here. I'm just worried about the young parents. They have their kids and they really want to get back to their father or mother. So, okay, we'll stop here. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, any announcements for the upcoming week?
No, Prabhuji, we'll continue with Wednesday classes at least for this year, and maybe we'll take a decision about next year later.
Okay. And I hope most of you are okay. Just a humble request, please join on time. So we start, just dedicate 2 hours, 7 to 9, and I'll try to finish 9 or very close to 9 so that you can get back to your household duties. But yeah, let's continue. And the expected date of exam will be for module 3 will be February. I can't tell you the date as yet. I don't know myself, but expected is we'll take 4 weeks break in December, and Sundar Gopal Prabhu will send the dates. But please work on your assignments as we are going through these chapters. It's very easy that time. If you have any questions or comments, please write it down and we can discuss in the class itself. Okay, we'll stop here. Sharp 9:00. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande. And one last thing, Karthik is starting from this Sunday. So I'm sure everyone knows about it, but if you don't know, so 29th is the Purnima. Karthika starts, one of the most auspicious month in the whole year. So please take some vow, whatever you can maintain. It can be a small or big, maybe in eating or in japa or in reading or doing some other devotional service, whatever works for your situation. But take something and pray to Srimati Radharani to bless you. So it will be very, very nice to do something extra for Krishna in this particular month. Krishna is very kind and says the blessings are 1,000 times increased in this particular month. So whatever works, but just try to do something for Krishna, extra. Okay, we'll stop here and we can see Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra in the ashram. So